recording a conversation is yourself. Secondly,
Okay.
even if it's not, that's only in the case of a legal situation, in which this is not. This is a private political party, not a legal structure. So if you happen to leak a recorded audio conversation, the only court it's going to is public court, right? Public court, the opinion of the public. So this isn't an issue, but I would say get very savvy with your phone, because you could, if you're hardcore Trump and you're really wanting to make America great again, and they approach you again, it would be fantastic for you to blow the lid off of this, blow the top off of this with just one simple 30-second audio clip. You could end this right here and right now. So I want to commend you once again. Thank you very much for standing your ground.
Awesome.
Thank you. I'm not wavering.
Thanks, Victor, for calling,
by
brother.
the people, for the people.
Real quickly, while this may be technically legal for them to do what they're doing, although that's really hard to believe, the political optics of it are horrible. I mean, Ted Cruz has morphed into everything that the Republican voter was angry about that made us want to vote for Donald Trump in the first place. I mean, he is just Ted Cruz could not metaphysically become more establishment than he is right now. I mean, he's so establishment that he is like if they were going to someday clone establishment people and create a giant establishment army to take over the world, they would use Ted Cruz. That's how establishment he is.
Right.
And it's, you can't win. I mean, 70% of the vote this time around has been anti-establishment. You can't possibly win.
Right. And let me just reset here, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to The Silent Majority. I'm your host, Chris, and on the Rebooting Liberty Hotlines, I have my co-host Katja Lee and my guests, Bill Mitchell and Kelly Buckley, who was kind of bribed by the Ted Cruz camp. But let's talk about exactly. There are approximately 8 super PACs backed by the Republican elites who are spending millions of dollars to defeat Donald Trump. Could you imagine if they spent this amount of money and time in defeating Obama or any of Obama's policies or Hillary Clinton herself? I mean, you have super PACs that are reportedly calling, texting, emailing, lobbying, all out, whining and dining. The delegates, as we mentioned, but apparently in Kelly's instance, it was directly from the Cruz camp. Apparently, Bill, what do you have to say about that?
Well, like I said, I mean, the optics of this are absolutely horrible. And look at what has happened to Ted Cruz's poll numbers since the Rocky Mountain heist, which is Katja's. I stole that from her. Katja, I owe you a royalty on that. But anyway, since the Rocky Mountain heist and Wyoming and all these things were basically Pyrrhic victories for the Cruz campaign. Yeah, he won some delegates. He won the battle, but he lost the war. Right. And I mean, I think that it's possible that Donald Trump could run the table to Cleveland. And then it's all moot at that point. I
honestly feel that, they're in panic mode because after you mentioned, you were talking about this for weeks now. You said after this Tuesday, I mean, it's going to be over, and they see it and they're panicking where you have this allegiance between, Ted Cruz and John Kasich, where one person is just going to basically give up on, I believe it was, help me out here.
Indiana.
He was going to give Kasich was going to give Indiana to Ted Cruz, basically, and he wasn't going to put all his effort into it or his funding into it.
One of the reasons why was he's broke.
Right. True.
He's got like 1.8 million left in the bank, for his campaign, so he's pretty broke.
Well, Donald Trump responded precisely. So he said that the reason why they're doing this is because their donors are pretty upset, pretty pissed off at them, at Ted Cruz and Kasich, that they couldn't take, they can't take Donald Trump down. At this time, I want to go ahead. I'm sorry, Kelly.
On the phone call, I'll just agree with you. I can tell the desperation.
Right.
About wanting to know about what hotel we're at and stuff. You can
Oh, it smells of.
That's why I agree that it's going to amp up. It's just going to continue.
It smells of desperation, especially when you realize who's behind these this PAC. One of the PACs is Katie Packer of the OPP PAC, and she's basically, she's been behind this Never Trump PAC for how long now? I believe she worked for Mitt Romney. And Paul Ryan, and it's insane. But at this time, I want to go to the hotline here. Mr. Proctor, welcome to the Silent Majority.
Hey, how's it going? Just saw your tweet there. It's fantastic. You're asking who has the best chance of beating beating Hillary?
Yes.
Absolutely anybody. Anyone. I do. I've got a great chance. It's a real mess, and I heard the news today. It was absolutely horrible about Cruz and Kasich wanting to team up, and that just we don't even have to. I'm not saying don't vote, but at this point, sheesh. We don't even have to vote because they're just securing it for him.
Right, and it's interesting you mentioned that because today in Drudge it said dead heat, Clinton versus Trump. Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are locked in a dead heat in the latest George Washington University poll. Katja, did you catch that?
I did not. No, I did not.
And Bill, I know you're the polling expert.
Thanks. Well, I guess, Browning. I think we finally settled on one that's nobody's going to say, what was that?
You're the Donald Trump expert. I'm sorry.
No, you can say polling expert. Right. That's fine.
Okay. All right. So
I'm in California. All right. After California, trust me, he's going to be polling nationally far beyond the 50% range. I'd say around 53, 54. That's just my prediction.
Right. And
this is what I wanted to say real quickly about the head-to-head polls before Trump is a nominee. Is that it's like favorability, okay? They're always measuring favorability. Says, Donald Trump has got terrible favorability. Well, if you figure, let's just assume that half the country is Democrats and half the country is Republicans, okay? Now, those Democrats are afraid of Donald Trump. So, of course, when they're asked if they have a favorable opinion of him, they're going to say no. Okay. Then roughly half of the Republicans are voting for somebody else. And so they're going to say no, too. So right away, you have almost a 75% unfavorability. And it's not because Donald Trump isn't a great guy. It's because everybody's afraid of him. That's why the leading candidates always have the highest unfavorability. And then you have all these candidates that are no longer in the race, like Marco Rubio, that always had fantastic favorability because nobody was afraid of him.
Right.
And he's gone.
And
so favorability doesn't matter.
Right. And I want to play this next clip I want to play, but I want to thank Mr. Proctor. I want to thank you for calling. It was a great call. Don't be a stranger.
Hey, yeah, have a good one.
You got it. So, he brings up an interesting point. it leads me to this next clip I want to play. It was a liberal analyst basically saying that Donald Trump will be very, very tough. He'll be a very tough candidate versus Hillary Clinton.
Fascinating when you start to hear the language of the presumptive nominee coming from the campaign, and Donald Trump saying, "Look, I'm ready to wrap this up. Let's get this show on the road, so to speak." And if that's the case, Hillary's also in the same mode, Marianne. So, do you think that Hillary is hankering for a fight against Donald Trump, or would she rather take on one of these possible alternatives that could be produced from a contested convention?
Well, one quick thing to anyone who's worked a convention with delegates, as I have, you work those delegates, and I promise you, Donald Trump thinks he's 30 or 35 short. He's got at least that many, probably twice as many, in his pocket on June 7th who will have pledged to him. So that's how the process works, number one. Number two, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump have already turned their sights to each other. You've heard that after New York last Tuesday night. You'll hear it again tomorrow night. They're the general election contest. That's who the voters are going to have.
But is that what she's hoping for? Is that what Democrats are hoping for at this point?
I've consistently said throughout this the analysis of this race that I would not want to run against Donald Trump because I think he's the most dangerous candidate. Give me Ted Cruz, give me John Kasich, give me any of the vanquished. They're traditional politicians, easy to beat, and Ted Cruz in particular, way outside the mainstream.
Boom. And there you have it. That was Marianne Marsh. I thought it was an excellent clip, Katja. I played it. What's your opinion regarding that clip?
Mr. Trump is completely unpredictable. He doesn't play by the DC rules. He's not part of the secret society like, we've heard Mr. Gingrich talk about. He's never been initiated into that where there's certain rules that we do and don't say certain things. He doesn't play by those rules. He plays by the truth.
Right.
And Mr. Trump is going to annihilate Hillary Clinton. He's going to take her down. It's going to be a wonderful sight to see, and I hope that all of my Republican folks out there are listening very closely, that he will be the one that will do it.
Yeah.
He's already given us a little glimpse on the kind of stuff that he can do to her, and the truth will come out, and Mr. Trump is going to do it. I have no doubt about it.
Yeah,
complete faith in it.
You know what's interesting, too? Cruz came out, I believe it was yesterday, where he said he won't go personal with Hillary Clinton and will focus on substance. He is already getting squishy, just like Mitt Romney did against Obama. And that's why they fear Donald Trump, because Donald Trump is not going to get squishy at any point in time. He's going to go after her personally, because you know why? Because you have to go after her personally, because everything personal about her is what makes her who she is, the corrupt politician that she is.
Exactly.
At this time, I want to pick up Tea Leaf from Florida. Welcome to the Silent Majority.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
Mr. Trump is up against a lot. Of course, we know that the delegate process is quite complex and it totally needs revamped. It's just going to take a while to do it.
Right.
But in the meantime, I agree with Kocha, and that we do have the other lady that we do. I'm sure he has some delegates sort of in his pocket that are ready, willing, and able to go to him when he needs them at the convention. But this whole process is such a waste of money, and it's discrediting the American people so much, and that's why you're getting so much support from, the American public that have seen the level of corruption now and that have not been aware of it until now and are totally enraged by it. And Donald Trump, thank God for him, because this was like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for us to have someone like him, so passionate about our country. I'm rooting for him all the way, and I'm from Ohio, so I will be going to the convention and joining the StopTheSteal.org little get-together.
Awesome. Well, you're listening to the Silent Majority. I'm your host, Chris, and on the Rebooting Liberty Hotline, I have my co-host, Katja Lee, and my guests, Bill Mitchell and Kelly Buckley. Kelly Buckley was actually approached. I don't know if you were listening to the show, Tea Leaf, earlier on, but Kelly was approached by some Ted Cruz people and basically bribing her to switch her allegiance to Ted Cruz. Did you hear the opening or no?
I've seen online. I saw that on I think it was on YouTube that I saw that Cruz had handed a piece of paper to somebody, and then underneath it looked like there was some money involved. So it looked like he was actually trying to bribe somebody there.
Oh, I don't know about. I don't know.
That was a gentleman, though.
Yeah, he might have been just ordering Chinese.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I don't think I didn't take anything. I didn't make anything of that.
Oh, okay.
But
it looked like he handed somebody a menu and then some money.
Yeah, but listen. I want you to. This show is always archived, so I want you to listen to the opening here. We had Kelly from Texas, Kelly Buckley. She spoke about how she had 3 incidences where they approached her to switch her allegiance to Ted Cruz. But I want to thank you for calling, Tea Leaf.
Okay, thank you, and good night.
Thank you. All right, Kelly, I want to go back to you because you are the guest of the hour here. Tell us. What would be a good way to sort of, Tea Leaf spoke about revamping the system. What would be a great way to revamp the system so that there's less corruption?
One, I think we should do away with, it should be the vote. Like who was, in each state, how they divided up evenly, nothing left over,
right.
For like Cruz did in Louisiana. Right. I think that's where all the crap comes from.
Right.
And I think that needs to stop. It should be what the people want,
right.
Not against the people. Like, I don't like this whole process, but I'm not wavering.
Right.
I'm not going to change my mind. Nobody can bully me.
Okay.
I'm not scared of a lot of things, especially after what I've lived through.
Right. You're a true you're a true hero. Seriously, that word is thrown around, but listen, I have family members that are cancer survivor, and you're a strong individual there, and I applaud you for that, and also for standing strong and standing your ground. Thank you for that. But at this time, let's pick up Robert.
You.
Yeah, you're welcome, darling. Anytime. And I want to pick up Robert. He's been waiting for a while here. Robert, welcome to the Silent Majority.
Thank you. I like what you guys are doing. I follow Bill Mitchell, and I follow you guys on Twitter. And I try to see what you guys are up to every day. I think that there's a bigger picture here, and it's interesting because I think that the conservatives always miss